Not to be confused by the midlife crisis, the midlife collision is taking over minds and bodies of many midlife women. The collision is caused by significant change and needed adjustment like handling caregiving, responsibilities, career changes, menopause, and more.
Collision is a great description. I think it differs from the crisis, which is sparked midlife from questioning one's life choices and direction. Trauma and equine expert Hertha Lund joins us now live. Hi, Hertha. And how does a therapeutic horse retreat weigh in here?
Wow, it is an amazing way to get at midlife collision. It's because if you get to come spend time with the horses and I in our round corral in the beautiful mountains in Montana, you can learn about emotional regulation, you can reduce your stress and anxiety, you have non-judgmental support from the horses and I, and also it's good for starting to process trauma. I think the one thing that adds up in midlife is all those things that we packed down from childhood, big T or little t traumas, they start coming up. So that compounds everything else we're experiencing.
And this is something you know personally, right? You were a practicing attorney for decades and then trained to do this type of therapy. How has it helped you in ways that it can help other people?
Wow, I practice law, I still practice law, but I got extremely sick because I didn't deal with the pain from my childhood. In fact, I had a near-death experience and came back. And working with horses and equine gestalt therapy was one of the things that helped me find a path to health and wholeness. I actually feel better now than I ever have in my life, and I'm in my early 60s. So,
you know, you talk about horse and you talk about retreat, and that sounds very expensive. A lot of people perhaps can't afford that. What other options are there out there for women who are on this type of collision? And maybe two key things that you would suggest that maybe they carried through their child years and their teen years?
Well, first of all, you probably can find a way to get to do equine therapy. There's an organization called Hope Through Horses. So there are ways to get help. But first and foremost, you should start where you're at now. And first thing to do is embody presence, so to slow down and be yourself. And number two, each one of us has inside of us what we need to heal. I think that's hard to get, and that's one thing I had to learn when I got so sick, is that I really did have it. I just had to do the practice of looking for healing every day and slow down and sleep at night. I mean, it seems so practical, but it's something that not many of us do. So.
I think midlife crisis is a common term we've heard for a long time. This is the first time I've heard midlife collision. How do you kind of separate them, and how do you define the midlife collision?
Yeah, midlife crisis is more when we start thinking about the choices we've made, life choices in our careers. And collision is impacting women because we have women in the workforce, we have women taking care of their elderly parents, they're working jobs, they have marriages to keep going, and all of a sudden everything just kind of falls in. And I can tell you that I've certainly experienced that. And then you add the word that we're all talking about now, we used to never say it, but menopause. I mean, it changes us emotionally, physically, and so it really is almost like a cascading effect of a collision inside with all the things coming at us.
I think there are more obligations and there are more layers and there are more responsibilities on women than ever before, and men, you know, men taking part in family and work and all the things that they do. Do you see this with men as well on a collision period as well?
I think that the studies that they've done show that it affects women more, but absolutely it would affect men. And I mean, life is hard. And I think that I would not underestimate, because of my life experience, what happens with the unprocessed stuff from our childhood. And so unpacking that sooner rather than later, I think, is a way to start on the path to wholeness. But again, slow down and be present right here and now. That's actually the key to all healing that I found.
Okay, Hertha Lund, she works with horses. She helps people heal. She's in Montana. It's called the 4 Horses Retreat. We thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much, Hertha.
Thank you so much.